Now, let's get to our top story. Just a few hours ago, President Biden signed that new spending bill, that continuing resolution that passed Congress overnight. The bill includes $100 billion for disaster relief funds, which would help those victims of Hurricanes Helene and Milton on the East Coast. There's also $10 billion for farmers who've been struggling with the cost of production, inflation. It does not include suspending the debt ceiling, something President-elect Trump had been pushing for. Many eyes on Elon Musk through all of this, the billionaire playing a key role in budget talks. He's a major influencer for this new administration, calling the early version of the spending bill criminal. NewsNation's Elina Shirazi is joining me right now live from Washington, D.C. Elina, good to see you on a Saturday. President-elect Trump selecting Musk to co-lead DOGE. But, how is this week kind of giving us a preview of what's to come and questions that some might have?
Yeah, Adrienne, good to be with you. That's the big question here. Musk, he really quickly went from a billionaire's world to being fully launched in the world of politics. You called him an influencer. That is pretty accurate. He's one of Donald Trump's closest allies. And he definitely put his influence on full display during the government spending fight that we've been reporting on. We saw this play out this week, full front, when Elon Musk called to the budget proposal. He used his, as they're calling it, ex-megaphone to air out complaints about the bill in its then current form. We know Musk warned Republicans to fall in line or get ready to be kicked out of his office. He's also planning to unseat Democrats in deep blue districts and replace them with more moderate candidates. And remember, Musk, here's what he did, spend $250 million. We remember that, to help Trump win back the White House. Some people even called it the Musk pressure campaign. But before the deal was reached, Adrienne, Democrats even took to social media mocking Republicans, saying Trump had been essentially moved to the role of vice president. A Democratic congressman from California, Eric Swalwell, posting, quote, "People are saying that Trump is the VP and Elon is the president. But that's not accurate. Trump is more like press secretary. Trump is the mouth and Elon is the muscle." Certainly, though, how he handles DOGE and other facets of this administration, this incoming administration, what his role is, well, what it will become as well, is all certainly still taking form here, Adrienne.
Elina, you've even reported that Elon was being considered for Speaker of the House when Mike Johnson's job seemed to be in jeopardy, but clearly that would be a stretch. I think some people were joking about that. How did that even come up?
Yeah, the funding fight certainly reignited a new debate with Republicans. Should Johnson keep his job? That was the big question. Senator Rand Paul was the first to float Elon Musk as an option to replace him. The Speaker of the House, is what he said here, need not be a member of Congress. Nothing would disrupt the swamp more than electing Elon Musk. Think about it. Nothing's impossible, not to mention the joy at seeing the collective establishment, a.k.a. Uniparty, lose their ever-loving minds. Here's Speaker Johnson himself on this very topic.
Elon Musk and I talked within about an hour ago, and we talked about the extraordinary challenges of this job. And I said, "Hey, you want to be Speaker of the House? I don't know." He said, "This may be the hardest job in the world. I think it is."
And some Republicans, they're already supporting swapping out Johnson. Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene, we know she was sort of spearheading removing Johnson initially. Greene putting out a poll asking nearly 100,000 followers if they support Musk getting the gavel. You can see on her screens there, almost 79% saying yes. Again, Massie and Greene led the failed efforts to oust Johnson last year. It's certainly a very hard job to keep, if history is any teller of that. Adrienne.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.